Hello. In this part of the lectures, we'll speak about Title 3 of EU Regulation 834 of 2007 on organic production. Here is the title. As I mentioned, we are in the second part of this lecture, dealing with Title 3 of Regulation 834 of 2007. This list you, if you have listened the first part, for sure are familiar with this list. In the first part, we spoke about Title 1 and Title 2, and in this part, we'll speak about the Title 3. The Title 3, Production Rules. Starting with Article 8, which is speaking about general requirements. According to this article, operators shall comply with the production rules set out in this title and with the implementing rules provided for in Article 38.0. Article 9, prohibition on the use of GMOs. GMOs and products produced from or by GMOs shall not be used as food, feed, processing aids, plant protection products, fertilizers, soil conditioners, seeds, vegetative propagating material, microorganisms, and animals in organic production. It is very clear. Operators using non-organic products purchased from third parties shall require the vendor to confirm that the products supplied have not been produced from or by GMOs. And Article 10, prohibition on the use of ionizing radiation. Ionizing radiation. The use of ionizing in organic food or feed is prohibited. Article 11, General Farm Production Rules. According to Regulation 834 of 2007, an entire farm should be organic, so the entire farm. However, there is exclusion. Conventional and organic together can be in the same farm when organic, the conventional part, are well separated into two units. So a holding may be split up into clearly separated units or aquaculture production sites, which are not all managed under organic production. So what does it mean? This means that, for example, a farm or a company can have an organic and conventional activity, but with the condition that they are separated and function as separated units. In this case, if you refer to animals, in this case, between organic and conventional farms, the species has not to be the same. That's why it says that different species shall be involved. Regarding the aquaculture, the same species may be involved, provided that there is an adequate separation between the production sites, between organic and conventional production sites. As regards plants, in this case, can be even the same species, but has to be different varieties. And these varieties with a condition that can be easily differentiated in order to be easy and to be easy to distinguish and to not do by mistake any mixing of different production of organic and conventional one. Article 12, plant production rules. According to these plant production rules, there are some cultivation practices like organic plant production shall use tillage and cultivation practices that maintain or increase soil organic matter. So the focus is to preservation, conservation of soil organic matter and even increase of organic matter in the soil. The fertility and biological activity of the soil shall be maintained and increased by multi-annual crop rotation, including legumes, fertilization practices with fertilizers authorized for organic production. So it is important here to stress that the crop rotation is important, and in this crop rotation is important to include legumes and can be used fertilizers which are authorized in organic production. Biodynamic preparations are okay for organic production method and no use of mineral nitrogen fertilizers. Continue with Article 12, plant production rules. Here, regarding plant protection techniques and products, the prevention of damage caused by pests, disease, and weeds shall rely primarily. So, in the organic production methods, we are focused to the prevention and not to the treatment. In the case of an established threat to a crop, plant protection products may only be used if they have been authorized for use in organic production under Article 16. Article 12 deals with propagation material to clean and densification material, collection of wild plants, and so on. So, regarding seed and vegetative propagation material, only organically produced seed and propagating material shall be used. The mother plant in the case of seeds and the parent plant in the case of vegetative propagating material shall have been produced organic for at least one generation or two growing seasons in case of perennial plants. Clean and densification material can be used only authorized for use in organic production under Article 16. Collection of wild plants and their parts. Those areas have not for a period of at least 3 years before the collection received treatment with products. So they are allowed wild collection, but with the condition that the area where the collection is happening has at least 3 years before collection have not any treatment with products that are not with products that are not allowed in organic production method. And this was for Article 12. Now for Article 13, production rules for seaweed. The collection of wild seaweeds and parts thereof growing naturally in the sea is considered as an organic production when collection does not affect the long-term stability of the natural habitat and species in the collection area. So it is more linked to the sustainability in order to not damage the natural resources that in this case are the seaweeds. The farming of seaweeds shall take place in coastal areas with environmental and health characteristics to be considered organic. Article 14 Livestock Production Rules. Um, it deals about origin of animals, husbandry practices and housing conditions, like personal basic knowledge and skills, permanent access to open areas, preferably pasture. Hives and materials used in beekeeping shall be mainly made of natural materials. The destruction of bees in the combs as a method associated with the harvesting of beekeeping products is prohibited. Organic livestock shall be kept separate from other livestock. However, grazing of common land by organic animals and of organic land by non-organic animals is permitted under certain restrictive conditions. Article 14. Again, livestock production rules. Breeding, reproduction shall use natural methods. Artificial insemination is, however, allowed. Reproduction shall not be included by treatment with hormones or similar substances unless as a form of veterinary therapeutic treatment in case of an individual animal. Feed, primarily obtaining feed for livestock from the holding or from other organic holdings in the same region. So this is important. Livestock shall be fed with organic fat that meets the animal's nutritional requirements. A part of the ration may contain feed from holdings which are in conversion to organic farming. About the disease prevention and veterinary treatments. Disease prevention shall be based on keeping the animals in optimal conditions by appropriate sitting application of good husbandry and management practices. Disease shall be treated immediately to avoid suffering to the animal. Chemically synthesized allopathic veterinary medicinal products, including antibiotics, may be used where necessary and under strict conditions. Cleaning and disinfection products for cleaning and disinfection in ponds, cages, buildings, and installations shall be used only if they have been authorized for use in organic production under Article 16. Article 15. Production rules for aquaculture animals. Origin of the aquaculture animals. Organic broodstock when young stock from organic broodstock or holdings are not available. Non-organically produced animals may be brought into a holding under specific conditions. Husbandry practices. In this case, personnel shall possess the necessary basic knowledge and skills. Important is in husbandry practices water quality and density, normal development and environmental issues, separation, transport, slaughtering keeps suffering in minimum. According to breeding, artificial induction of polyploidy, artificial hybridization, cloning and production of monosex strain not used, appropriate strains and species, specific conditions for broodstock management, breeding and juvenile production. Continue with Article 15, production rules for aquaculture animals. Feed for fish and crustaceans has to be um, feed that meets the animal's nutritional requirements. Plant, plant fraction of feed originated from organic and fraction derived from aquatic animals originated from sustainable exploitation. Non-organic feed materials and other feed and additives are used only if are in Article 16. Growth promoters and synthetic amino acids are not allowed. Bivalve mollusks and other species feeding on natural plankton receive all their nutritional requirements from nature except juveniles in hatcheries and nurseries grown in waters which meet the criteria for Class E or Class B areas. Disease prevention and veterinary treatments. So, based on production rules for aquaculture animals, here, like in the other animals, the health of these aqua, aquaculture animals is based on disease prevention. Disease prevention shall be based on keeping the animals in optimal conditions. Disease are treated immediately in case it happens. Chemically synthesized allopathic veterinary medicinal products, including antibiotics used under strict conditions, when phytotherapeutic homeopathic is not successful or inappropriate, restriction for courses of treatment and withdrawal periods defines. Immunological veterinary medicines are allowed. Regarding cleaning and disinfection products, it is used only if they have been authorized for use in organic production under Article 16. And now Article 16, products and substances used in farming and criteria for their authorization. The European Commission makes a list of products and substances that are as plant protection products, as fertilizers and soil conditioners, as non-organic feed materials from plant, animal, and mineral origin, and certain substances used in animal nutrition, as feed additives and processing aids, as products for cleaning and disinfection of ponds, cages, buildings, and installation for animal production, as products for cleaning and disinfection of buildings and installations used for plant production, including storage and an agriculture holding. Products and substances in the restricted list may only be used as the corresponding use when it is authorized in general agriculture in accordance with community law. Uh, Speaking about production rules, their use is necessary for sustained production and essential for its intended use. All products and substances shall be of plant, animal, microbial, or mineral origin, except where products or substances from such sources are not available in sufficient quantities or qualities, or if alternatives are not available. Article 17 about conversion. Starting of the conversion period earliest when notified, subject of control during conversion. So this is an important point. Just to remember what is conversion period, I have explained previously. And conversion period for type of crop or animal production. Holding partly under organic production and partly in conversion to organic production, the organically produced and in conversion products separate. Organic animals separate or readily separable and records to show the separation. Animals and animal products produced during conversion period nor marketed as organic, not advertised and labeling as organic, bio, eco, and so on, all the terms that are referring to this regulation for organic production. Rules for conversion periods. So there are specific rules for conversion periods and determination of this period of conversion to organic production. Now we're to the chapter 3, production of processed feed, starting with Article 18, which deals with general rules of production of organic feed. In the case of organic feed, has or is needed, has to be respected a clear separation between organic and non-organic feed. The separation can be in time and space. I don't know if you know the meaning of time separation and space separation. However, I can explain here that time separation is when the processes of organic and non-organic are separated in time. For example, there is a certain period when we process organic feed, and then after that, there is processing on non-organic feed. Or separation in space, that is that they can happen in the same moment, but they can happen or are obliged then to be in separated spaces. Another rule related to organic feed is not processed with aid of chemicals. So there is not processing of organic feed, that it is not allowed with aid of chemicals, and no use of reconstitution substances and techniques. Chapter 4, production of processed food. Article 19, general rules of production of organic food. In the case of organic production of organic food, I mean for humans, again the same applies the same principles. Clear separation in time and space, mainly of agricultural origin, only organic ingredients. So when produce food, they have to be mainly of agricultural origin, has to be only organic ingredients. Non-organic, however, has to be authorized in special conditions. The same ingredient, not organic and non-organic or conversion. Only authorized food auxiliaries like amino acids, flavors, enzymes, minerals, processing aids are allowed. Substances and techniques that reconstitute properties that are lost. Chapter 4 continues with production of processed food. Article 20, general rules on the production of organic yeast. For the production of organic yeast, only organically produced substrates, other products and substances must be authorized, so they can be used only after an or upon an authorization. Organic yeast shall not be present in organic food or feed together with non-organic yeast. Article 21. Criteria for certain products and substances in processing. The authorization of products and substances for use in organic production and their inclusion in a restricted list of the products and substances referred to Article 19. The 2b and c shall be subject to the objectives and principles laid down in Title II and the following criteria, which shall be evaluated as a whole. Alternatives authorized in accordance with this chapter are not available. Without having resource to them, it would be impossible to produce or preserve the food or to fulfill given dietary requirements provided on the basis of the community legislation. In addition, the products and substances referred to in Article 19(2)b are to be found in nature and may have undergone any mechanical, physical, biological, enzymatic, or microbiological processes, except where such products and substances from such sources are not available in sufficient quantities or qualities on the market. Chapter 5 Flexibility. Article 22 General Rules of Production of Organic Food. European Commission may provide for granting of exceptions from the production rules laid down in Chapter 1 to Chapter 4, but kept to a minimum and limited in time and only in specific cases, climatic, geographical, or structural reasons, to ensure access to feed, seed, vegetative propagating material, live animals, and other inputs were not available in organic, access to ingredients of agricultural origin not available as organic ingredients, when specific problems with livestock management or in processing, in case of catastrophic circumstances, and when additives allowed are not available in market, however, has not to be GMO. Now already we concluded this part of the lecture. I will invite you to study this and then invite to the other part of the lecture to the part 3.